Yo, 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 yo. It's your boy Jamar, Top Shelf Sports Talk. Just wanted to hop on here real quick just to give you guys an update on my thoughts on what happened yesterday with the Eagles losing to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Um, I was a firm believer early on because I watched Chad Ochocinco. I even watched Deshaun Jackson hop on their platforms and say that they thought that the Eagles were kind of cruising along. Chad Ochocinco said he thought they were playing possum. Deshaun Jackson said he believed that they were not necessarily losing on purpose, but they knew what they were doing when they were losing those games, and that they would bounce back when it came time to play in the playoffs. Um, as we all know, as we all saw yesterday, that all was a lie. It all was a lie. It was all wishful thinking. I brought into that. I believed that. I thought that that was the case. I actually, was convinced of it because I just knew there was no way possible that the Eagles could forget how to play football. I just knew that there was no way possible that the Philadelphia Eagles could forget, just totally forget how to play football. I was terribly wrong, terribly wrong, and so were those guys. And I'm pretty sure they might have released videos today and and voiced their concern and what they had to say about the actual loss. But I was terribly wrong. I mean, this team has a problem. As I've been stating all year long. Um, and I'm not even gonna say year long. Ever since the first, well, ever since the San Fran loss, we lost how we forgot how to tackle. We forgot how to tackle. We forgot how to make stops on defense. We forgot the discipline of being in your own gap, being in your own lane. We forgot how to make the right, correct angles. We forgot all the fundamentals that got us to 10-1, um, to then go 1-5 or 6. So we lost everything that we built to get to that point, and to even lose it even more going to the playoffs. And this is a team that was just in the Super Bowl last year. Like just last year, we were in the Super Bowl. We did everything correctly. Play calls was correctly. Jalen Hurts saw the field, the whole field. I mean, for Christ's sake, that one I think he forced it to either Dallas Goedert. Yeah, it was Dallas Goedert on the third and short, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, or something like that. He had Julio Jones on the other side of the field wide open. Um, I just don't understand how that could happen. I, I truthfully, I believe that they quit on the coach. And in the next couple of days, next couple of weeks, whatever months, you might see stuff start to come out about how Nick Sirianni has lost the locker room. You got to make a change. I said that a couple of shows ago. You got to make a change. If these guys are not believing in his philosophy and his antics anymore, you got to make a change because you will not win if nobody believes. And right now, nobody believes. You have to make it. You're going to have to make a change. I don't care how you look at it. If you're Jeffrey Lurie, and me personally, I'm not. It's a bunch of big name coaches out there. Belichick's, Harbaugh. There's a couple names out there. I'm too frustrated right now to think of everybody. I don't know if I necessarily want to see Belichick because I believe he's an old school coach. And I don't know if the new school players are going to buy into the old system, the old ways of an old school coach. I mean, that could be kind of tough. Um, do I think he would do a better job than Nick Sirianni? Yes, because I think he will have play callers that are play callers and him not controlling the play. He would just actually manage the game, which he's done. Um, do I think it'd be beneficial to Jalen Hurts? Maybe because we all know he prepares for the game like Tom Brady did. I'm no way by any stretch of the imagination comparing him to Tom Brady. I am just saying he prepares for the game like him. Um, but before I go off on the coaching search and firing Nick Sirianni, because I had posts up there yesterday. Of course, my brother-in-law always tell me um, I'm overreacting when I make them posts. Um, but dude, you know it just as well as I know it. That is true. You started off the game running the ball. The first run of the game was 9 yards. The second run of the game was like 2 yards. I think you got a first down. Then you totally abandoned it. Just like, oh, that worked. I don't want that to work. And I've been saying this too on the show. I think they actually adopted the fact that the NFL is trying to devalue the running back position, and I think the Eagles are falling in line with that. I think the Eagles are believing that. That is not the best formula for winning a Super Bowl. I mean, shout out to the 49ers, even though I've been going back and forth with a delusional 49er fan all morning. I ain't even gonna say your name. I put you out there on Facebook. I see you ain't replied to that. But it's you have to build your team to be more than one dimensional. 49ers run Christian McCaffrey, and as soon as you start to load the box up, they throw it over your head to Debo, Ayuk, or Jennings, or whoever else they got. And that's the formula to win. Now, I'm not sitting there saying that they're going to win a Super Bowl because I still believe that when they go against, a tough defense, a good defense, Brock Purdy is a shell of himself. You know what I mean? Brock Purdy is like a deer in headlights. Um, but you never know what can happen. But that is the model of which we were built on. We were supposed to be able to run the ball, and once you thought you could stop the run, we were supposed to be able to pass the ball. Somehow, in Nick Sirianni, Brian Johnson's head, they just thought that, oh, I'm going to pass the ball, 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 and dare you to stop it. Even when you do stop it, I'm still going to keep passing it because that's what I want to do, and that's what I'm calling. And to me, that is just the dumbest idea in the world. Like I said, we can like half of us can go out there and actually coach the Eagles team to at least beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I mean, for Christ's sake, you also got to teach Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts has to understand how to recognize the blitz. You got to figure out how to get that hot route in there because they were blitzing and nobody was hitting the hot route. I mean, Jalen Hurts wasn't hitting the hot route. We didn't. It was a couple times. Jason texted me and said, "Where's the hot route? They blitzed. Where's the get it out of his hands fast route? It wasn't there. And if it was there, Jalen Hurts didn't see it. So, long story short, I mean, this was a very, very, very frustrating last 6 games to the season. Very, very frustrating playoff exit. Again, I believe everybody except Jeff Stoutland should be out of here. Everybody except Jeff Stoutland. Get them all out. Now, if Jeff Stoutland wants to retire, then that's fine. He's been in the game for a while, but everybody except just Jeff Stoutland has to go. Matt Patricia, you got to go. You got to go. I seen nothing that you did differently when you came into the game, um, or when you took over play calling for the defense that Sean Desai didn't do. And I got a problem with you players, you defensive players who went out there and said that you believed Sean Desai wasn't calling plays confidently, and that's why you wanted to change as far as the coordinator was concerned. Why you jeopardized that man's career to still go out under another coordinator and do the same thing, not tackle, not hit the right angles, not do none of the things that you're taught as a football player to do. You got that man fired and demoted because you thought he wasn't confident in his play calling. And again, y'all didn't even tackle yesterday. Had y'all made a half of an effort at tackling yesterday, we might still be talking about playing the Detroit Lions this week. But nobody tackled. That man's out of a job, nobody tackled, and we lost. Make it make sense for me. Shout out to you, my man S. Dot. I'm using your company name, but It didn't make sense. By the way, this hoodie does make sense. S. Dot, appreciate you. But you put that man's career in jeopardy because you thought he wasn't a confident play caller to ultimately go out there and lose the game because you didn't tackle. And most of the time you were in position to make tackles. Y'all just didn't tackle. So how is that Sean Desai fault? That's not even really Matt Patricia's fault. And I'm not blaming Matt Patricia for taking over this defense and still not succeeding. It's not his problem. But I think you need a whole new change. And unfortunately, I believe though, if if Nick Sirianni is fired and a guy like Belichick is hired, I believe you'll have Matt Patricia as your defensive coordinator again. You'll have Josh McDaniels probably as your offensive coordinator because those are his guys. And to be honest, Josh McDaniels as an offensive coordinator, I'm not too mad at because I know he knows how to get the best out of his players. He's a terrible head coach. He's a terrible head coach, but he's a good offensive coordinator. Again, I don't know if I want to see Bill Belichick and the Eagles as the Eagles head coach, but Nick Sirianni has to go. You can't collapse like that and still think that everything is okay. It just does. That's just epic. That was an epic collapse. That was epic collapse. Like in all honesty, we all went into the game believing that the Eagles was going to lose the game. We're not. I'm not going to say that we believed that they were going to lose the game. We didn't have the confidence that we should have going into a game like that against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who Baker Mayfield had a sprained ankle and bruised ribs. There should be no way we shouldn't have had that man on his back the whole game and wanting to, give up. But we didn't. We didn't. And like I said, nobody can convince me otherwise on why they made the change from coordinator at the coordinator position for the defense. Personally, if anything, I would love to see him make a change on offensive coordinator. I would love to have seen somebody tell Nick Sirianni, you have nothing to do with play calling on offense. It's all on your offensive coordinator. But after Brian Johnson was gone, because I think Brian Johnson is half the reason why there were so many pass plays too. Hurts is his man. I guess he wanted to get him some yards. But I don't even think Hurts was like, man, what is y'all doing? What are y'all calling? Like, why are y'all calling this? Like, what is going on? Shane Steichen, we miss you, buddy. And I'm going to even say, Jonathan Gannon, we miss you. And people might say, oh, man, Jonathan Gannon was a bum. He was a bum. He was a bum. Or he ain't good. Da, da, da. And somehow them players played for him. Yes, he didn't make adjustments in the second half of the Super Bowl. But damn if he ain't get them there. He got us there. Players knew how to tackle. Players knew their gaps. Players knew their assignments. And he got us to the Super Bowl. The only knock on him is that he didn't make an adjustment in the second half of the Super Bowl. That was the only knock on him. Throughout the year, nobody complained about him. But in that Super Bowl, when he didn't make adjustments, that's when we got mad at him. Which I can't be mad at nobody for having that feeling. It is what it is. But he should have made those adjustments. So ultimately, man, this was a frustrating end to the season. This was a terrible end to the season. Wish it could have went a different way. Wish we could have got back to the goal that we wanted to be at, which was the Super Bowl. Hopefully, changes are made in the offseason. Hopefully, personnel gets moved around. Brandon Graham, I know you want to come back for another year. Unfortunately, I'm going to go out on a limb and say they don't bring you back. They don't bring Fletch back. Jason Kelsey, salute to you, brother. Salute to you. Hell of a year, hell of a career. Salute to you. You gave it your all. Nobody will ever question your heart. Thank you for what you did for the Eagles, the energy you brought to the Eagles, the consistency that you brought to the Eagles. Appreciate you, brother. Salute to you. Enjoy your retirement. Enjoy it. For closing, I just want to say tough loss, tough loss, tough loss. Better yet, better luck next year. And go Eagles, go Birds. Eagles, Eagles. It's still that for life, no matter what. You know what I mean? I'm